Hi, my name is Abhishek. I'm one of the co-founders of a startup called NumberEight. We're based in London. And what we do is, well, we predict, whoa, there's no clicker, so it's just scrolling. We predict user context. That's what we do. We were talking a lot about context and how it plays a really important role in music in terms of listening to music in the moment. And that's what we do. And how do we do that? Well, before we talk about how, let's see what we mean by context today. Context, what we define context as, this is sort of a future version of ourselves. We have devices on all of us. You know, you have glasses to phones in our pockets to watches. Maybe someday in the future, very scary future, maybe you have embedded chips in you to, you know, if you're walking into the underground, you just swipe your hand in. But what's also important to also see is that on top of the devices that we have on us, it's also the devices that we interact outside of us. So I'm talking about the Alexas, the HomePods, HomeKits, etc. That's sort of defining how we as humans go through from waking up in the morning all the way to going to bed at night. That's our context. So what we at NumberEight do essentially is we leverage the hardware that's available to us in our pockets, on our watch, on our glasses, etc. And what's inside them? Well, there's a whole range of sensors present inside: accelerometers, gyroscopes, compass. For example, we all know when we tilt our phone today, it changes from portrait to landscape mode. How is that happening? It's using the accelerometer that's present inside your phone to do that. So we do a lot of those things, use these sensors to define something meaningful as, okay, let's say John is commuting from home, from work, by bus to the gym on a Friday afternoon. And thankfully it's sunny here today. So yes, it is sunny. I took a chance there, but given that it's Amsterdam, but yeah. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're taking something as complex and raw information that's just numbers coming from sensors and translating that into something meaningful and useful that can be used for a whole range of applications. And our initial focus is actually on the music industry. The first thing that we've identified is this concept of place. Typically, when we think of location, we have, can anyone guess what is this location, by the way? I don't know if you can see. That's the one, it's right here. So yes, so this location can be a concert hall, it can be a restaurant, it can be a conference place. But let's say for someone who works here every day, as opposed to us who are coming here for an event, it means very different things. The same place. So that means a given location has this element of meaning associated to it. We call it semantic location. That can be associated with time. So let's say you wake up at 6 in the morning, I wake up at 9. There's a difference in what I call morning and what you call morning. So how do we do that today? So in terms of advertising, one of the challenges is we consider all these things as static. We say, okay, you know, work is work. You know, if it's a building, oh, it must be an office environment. But maybe not. Maybe I'm just there just for a meeting. Or maybe I'm just there to work out at the gym over there. And that's where we see a lot of advertising money being spent without actually understanding the context of the individual user. And that's where a lot of money is actually wasted. Secondly, this is a very favorite topic of mine. It's content recommendation. Any kind of recommendation systems today happen in one of two approaches. Because we're talking about music today, one is content-based, where you look at the specific content of a song, so which is, if it's a hip-hop song, or if it's a rap song, or if it's, you know, we look at what's inside the song to recommend more items to you. So for example, we're here, if you like Jay-Z, maybe we'll give you some more Kanye West, because it's of a similar genre. The second approach typically used by any kind of recommendation system today is shared recommendations, which is collaborative filtering. Means like, okay, if you and I, we both share the same taste in music, we'll get the same kind of recommendations. In all forms of recommendation systems today, whether it's LinkedIn, Amazon, Netflix, etc., it's either a combination of these two. What's crucially missing in all of these recommendation systems is this element of context. Music is enjoyed in the moment. It's not enjoyed in the past, not in the future, it's right now. Right now has a very different meaning if you're just relying on, okay, we'll give you more of what you've listened to in the past. And as we know, whether it's with news on Facebook or whether it's recommendation systems on Pandora or anything else, we're fed more of what we know already. So if you don't understand the context, you get more of what we know. And lastly is this concept I already talked about. I listen to music, let's say I listen to EDM music at the gym, but you might listen to, let's just say, jazz, when you know, that's what gets you going at the gym. This system doesn't actually learn that because it's not fed back, oh, in what context are you actually listening to it? So these are the 3 different challenges that we've identified. That's what we're applying our software to. How do we do this? Well, it's as simple. Once you understand the context of a given user, you can actually increase the advertising revenues for any streaming service, whether it's music to radio to podcasting, by actually integrating this information in the bidding process that happens. Secondly, is it enables a curation of context-driven playlists. Depending on what you're doing, where you are, it basically automatically curates a song for you, or at least even a playlist. And this was actually my master's thesis. That's how this whole thing started at NumberEight. So we actually built up a prototype system of that, where depending on your environment, you have a playlist that gets auto-generated for you. Instead of going through, let's say, 50 different playlists, mood, genre, et cetera, you are given what you want at the moment. That's it. It's as simple as that. And lastly, is this context of context-based personalization, depending on what you, the individual user, would want in a given moment. And that's kind of the value propositions we bring for the music streaming and for podcasting sector with our software. How it works? Well, this is this is the geeky slide of the presentation, where you have the software and how it's structured. Again, all the sensors present inside here. And the way we're building it out is that it can actually work on any embedded device. So be it a watch or a glass or a smartphone, et cetera. So think of a futuristic environment where you come back home from a long day of work, you've had a very busy day, and instead of telling Alexa, Alexa, please play me this, Alexa already knows you've had a busy day of work. It just plays it. It just plays a really cool song for you. Or you don't have to ask for it, because what we've done with voice-activated devices is that we haven't really changed the request part of it. It's just another form of a Google search. Instead of typing in, play me something, you're saying, oh, Alexa, play me something. The intent has not been automated. Because we see, in our lives, our environments have a lot to do with how we experience and enjoy content. And that's what we do with our software. The actual integration of it happens by our software in the form of it is like a library or a SDK. It's a software development kit that is integrated into existing applications. That's what we're building up. This is a demo app that we have on the iOS App Store. It's it's a little hard to see, but it allows the user to make changes to the given context, and it gives you a list of playlists, a list of songs for you for that given moment. And this is automatically filled in for you. You don't have to actually say, okay, I am working, I am relaxing, I'm working out, which is quite lame if you think of it. But yeah, that's what we do. And finally, we're looking, so our route to market is essentially to be partnering our software with the major streaming players, whether it's the SoundClouds, to the Deezers, to the Spotifys, et cetera. We have completed a pilot with one of the largest streaming companies, and now we're looking to basically get further pilots and to take our software to the next step. And these are the advertising companies who are also involved in this. And yeah, that's me, and that's our team. We're based in London. Thank you.